Okay, Will Forte. Season 2 is behind us. The Last Man on Earth, one of the best shows on TV. When you look back on season 2, what stands out to you as something that was really special, something that you're most proud of from those 18 episodes?
Uh, Man, I am really proud of a bunch of stuff. This second season, I was really excited by the first season. I felt like we tried a bunch of really unusual stuff, but I felt like we really learned how to tell better stories in the second season, and there were things that we got to do that like we had the season in two parts, and the last episode of the 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 first chunk was a cliffhanger where the fourth act is not a single joke. It's Mary Steenburgen and Mel Rodriguez trying to take Boris Kojo's appendix out in this situation where nobody knew anything about how to, nobody knows how to take out an appendix. We're just a bunch of, dipshits. So, but somebody had to do it. Like in this situation we're all involved in, like, you know, something that in today's society for us would be very routine. An appendectomy, with them it's a life and death situation. They had to give it their best shot, and that coupled with Jason Sudeikis coming down from space,
Mm-hmm.
I loved how that turned out, and I was really excited that we made this whole episode that was about some pretty serious stuff, but we're still able to find some jokes. I was really proud of the writers and proud of the cast with how that turned out. Then when we came back, I was really excited by we took a chance and did an episode that was just following Jason Sudeikis on his way down from space, and did an episode that featured him and Mark Boone Jr. And that was excited by how that turned out, and that was one I would point to. And then the last, once Jason Sudeikis got to Malibu and hooked up with our group, that was another, that whole stretch was a very special experience, getting to work with him again, and I thought some of our best work yet. So I was thrilled with how the season turned out.
I'm glad to see your hair is growing back after going bald in the finale there.
It's the eyebrows that I was concerned with. We had so many people warn it, the hair and makeup department just said, do not do the eyebrows. But then I sent a picture to my dad the night before we started. He said, "Oh, you're just going to keep the eyebrow there, huh?" And I was like, "Oh, Dad, you got me." So I said, "Yeah, you're right. What are we doing here?" So I shaved the eyebrow, and it came back so quickly. It was actually gross how quickly it came back.
That leads into a fan question from Andy in Vancouver. He wants to know about the hair cutting process. Specifically, what if the barber had slipped up because you were half hair and half bald? Like what would have happened if there was a mistake there?
Oh man, we just would have gone with it. But Vito was so delicate with my hair, so we had been planning it for a long time. So we went little by little to make sure that it all was perfectly half and half, and he did an amazing job on my hair.
What was it like walking down the streets after you filmed those scenes before the episodes aired? Because after it aired, it made sense why you would be like that. But I think we saw you at the Critics' Choice Awards, and those episodes hadn't aired yet, and we're wondering, why is Will Forte half and half? What's going on?
It was walking down the streets was the looks I got from people. These are double takes that if you were directing a movie and said, like, okay, I need you to do a double take here, the double takes I got, you would say, oh no, okay, that's not realistic. Nobody would. That's way too over the top. But these double takes I was getting were like, like that level of double take, which is understandable. It's a weird look, but oh no, you're frozen. Are
Uh-oh.
you still? You're not. Not
Can
you're
you
not
see me?
anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
It might have
but
frozen during the double take part. If you want to do that again.
oh yeah, it's the less of that. I think I did. It was maybe a little over the top of what happened, but it was the plan at first was to try to just go underground and not let anybody see it. But then there were the Fox TCAs that they wanted us to go to, and then the Critics' Choice that same weekend. So we were trying to think, would we cover my head in like a satin sheet or something, or like try to put a fake beard on the other side and wear a hat. But then we ultimately we thought it might be an interesting look that might help attract viewers, and that's we love the show and are proud of the show. So the more people who check it out, the better.
Back to the Jason Sudeikis episode, the Pitch Black one. That was one of my favorites. Kind of a risky move to have no main characters in that episode at all. It was all just 2 guest stars. How did you convince Fox to do this? Was there a struggle? Because it's very rare to see this in TV.
There was a definite struggle. It took a lot of stubbornness, and to Fox's credit, they at every juncture when we get stubborn on something, they ultimately let us try it out and trust us. But they're always very honest with us about what their concerns are with different storylines, and it all the time will make episodes better because we'll figure out a way to safeguard something for them. It makes us really find out whether we want to do it or not, if we're going to have a real discussion with them and kind of argue our side. So they're great to us and letting us try this stuff, but it certainly was one that they wanted that the rest of the cast in, right. Originally.
Does he ever learn any lessons? Because I'm specifically thinking of the episode where he finds out about the low sperm count and he lies to Carol. But at the end, he does have that moment of guilt where I don't think we saw a guilty Phil in season 1. So I think he is starting to slowly become a better person.
Well, definitely that was something we were aware of. Going into season 2, we wanted to make sure that people knew that he was trying. So the character could still make all kinds of stupid mistakes, but as long as he knew his heart was in the right place. And that was the thing about lying to her about the sterility, was we thought that was an okay one, because I think the viewer could tell that he was nervous that Carol, that he wasn't doing it that there was a good reason for it, that it kind of came from his love for Carol, that he didn't want her to leave him, because he knew, Tandy knew just how much she wanted a baby. So we thought, as long as we make that just a beat and eventually have him come clean, then that we could get away with something like that.
And how great is Kristen Schaal? I mean, come on, she's perfect for this role. Absolutely,
she is so great. Yeah, no, we have the best time. The whole cast is so much fun because the nature of the show, we end up all spending so much time together. On a lot of shows, there will be, you'll kind of pair off different people, and there won't be a ton of group scenes, but we have a lot of scenes that are big groupies. So we really get to hang out a lot and get to know each other, and we have just the greatest family here. We started 3 days ago, for writing season 3, and
Ooh.
I surprised all the writing staff with I got one of those barcicles. If everybody knows, it's like a cable car, and everybody sits around on these, but it's powered um, by pedals. So you get everybody sitting around basically what's this big traveling bar, and everyone has to cycle as they're drinking beers and going bar hopping. So it was the most fun way to start the season. And then the cast was surprised us by being at the first stop, and we just had the best time. So it's really like these are moments we get to share all the time. And it's just a blessing to get to work with a bunch of people who you like so much.
Hmm. Yeah, how do I join your staff? That sounds awesome. I mean, my staff is fantastic too. Don't get me wrong.
Get your cycling chops up. Everyone's got to pull their weight cycling, and that's it. It's really a cycling based situation here. So come out, show us what you got, and yeah, go from there.
So if you're starting to write season 3, does that mean you can give us a little tease of what's to come? Because there was a big cliffhanger. Mark Boone comes back with 2 other guys there. What can you? I don't want any spoilers or anything, but maybe something.
I can honestly, we are figuring out right now. We went into it with a couple little ideas. I can't really tell you,
Right?
Because the things that we did have are major spoilers, and we don't have much more than that. We're kind of in the same situation that we were at in the beginning of season 2 when we started that process. All we knew was that we wanted Mary to start delving into medical stuff, and not get very far, and then be put in a situation where she had to try the appendix thing. So that was basically what we knew at the beginning of last season, and went from there. And so we're just at that very beginning part right now, and throwing around ideas, and we're excited by the stuff that we're coming up with so far, but it's really early.
Well, you got to say your favorite moments from season 2, so I'll say mine. It was episode 3 where you have the gun and you're trying to apologize to these people, but you keep pointing the gun at them. I was on the floor laughing. What was that scene like to shoot?
It was really, really fun. It was during, we're in Chatsworth, and during the summers, even at night, it's just blazing hot. So I just remember sweating bullets, because this is a long, we cut it down even more. So the speech that I probably gave was 6 minutes long or something, and it's just and I'm a sweater. I'm a natural sweater. So it was really fun, though. It was it was really fun. That's a horrible answer.
No, it's great. It leads me to my next question, which is about the Emmys. If you get nominated this year, you'll have to pick one episode to submit. Last year, you got nominated and submitted the pilot. Are you starting to think about that? Do you have like 1 or 2 episodes in mind if you get in this year?
Oh man, I don't know. Is that how it works? You pick one.
Yes.
If you get nominated. Oh geez. And do you pick 1 or 2?
You pick one. Last year, I guess maybe your reps picked it, or the network sometimes picks it, but it was the pilot submission, which was great. Okay. But Jeffrey Tambor, I mean, he was on just a ride last year.
He's amazing. For good reason he was on a ride. I don't know. I usually, if there's something like that, I've run it by all the writers, we've all been friends for years. I counted up the amount of time, the amount of friendship that's in the writer's room, and it's like 170 years or something like that. So it's, I usually run that stuff by them, Chris and Phil, and but I don't know, God, I was so excited to be included last year, and now after that, there are so many new awesome shows. It's like, I know it's it's who knows? You never know.
Right.
You never know.
I think I
This
talked.
included last year, so.
Yeah, I talked to you last year before the noms came out, and after they came out, it wasn't just you. It was the writing and the directing and the editing. It almost was like, well, the voters love everything about your show, so why not best comedy series? But maybe this year.
I am so proud of this show. I hope that that people watch it. I feel like if they're watching it, I'm super proud of it. So I hope people are watching, because there are so many people who are doing such amazing work. From Kristen Shaw, Mel Rodriguez, Mary Steenburgen, Jason Sudeikis. Oh my God, he is what he does when he comes down for his arc. Yeah. It's pretty unbelievable. So all the directors, just everybody I get to work with, I like so much, and they're so good at what they do. I hope that every person gets nominated. But then again, every show feels that way, and there's so many awesome people. I just want the world to get nominated for everything.
Yeah. The show, it has so many twists and so many turns, and it almost doesn't feel like a comedy. It feels like something like Lost or The X-Files or Game of Thrones. It has that kind of a fan base, which is very rare for a half-hour comedy on a network. Speaking of twists, we're almost out of time, but Will Ferrell pops in for 10 seconds? How did you get him to do that cameo? One of the greatest cameos.
Well, I have known him for a long time. We both came from the Groundlings. And I don't know him super well, but like I wrote for the MTV Movie Awards years ago and did something that he was in. When Jack Black was hosting, I wrote a couple different things. So I've known him, and then he hosted SNL a couple times. So we also had the same manager, and so I just ran it by her, and he just likes doing weird little things. He just thought, oh yeah, that sounds fun, and he's the best. He came by for a morning where he had to just repeatedly fall in the sand face first over and over and over again, and he just had the best spirits. He's an amazing guy. I love him, and it's I think because it was such a fun little weird joke, I think he was into it. But we love Will Ferrell.
Well, best of luck at the Emmy Awards. We can't wait to see what happens. And season 3, I imagine September, or when can we look forward to that?
September.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, we did whatever Fox says. They'll probably, I think, late September.
All right. Well, best of luck. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you.
Okay. Bye-bye.